Say a prayer. 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 Baba, Baba, yeah. There she go. Say, no, say, say, say a prayer for me. Strange fruit come down off that tree. Cut it down under your feet. Juicy fruit so bittersweet. Fruit stand tall, these roots go deep. Strange fruit busting on these thieves. Ancestors don't take defeat. Left the scent of victory in the air, tigress and tweed. All antheric, you carried. I'm tired, grim buried. The truth of things you carry. Futures you and your chariots. Say a prayer for me. 'Cause I don't get no sleep. Say a prayer for me, yeah. Oh, say, chariots. But I've been rallying the troops. Chariots of flaming line behind my Mozzie coupe. Damu at these roads, it's thick too. Make big fruit, big vibes. Always pressing that line, so full of love and light. The truth is black and white. Say a prayer for me, 'cause I don't get no sleep. Say a prayer for me. Oh, say. Baba, say a prayer for me, yeah. Oh, Ben, say a prayer for me, oh, 'cause I don't get no. Come on and say a prayer for me, oh, 'cause I don't get no. Say a prayer for me, oh, 'cause I don't get no sleep. Oh, no. Peace and bless, y'all.
Welcome to the 14th Annual Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards. And now, straight from Bridgerton is the New Black, I present to you Lady Whistle-Up.
Wasn't that opening melody simply divine? She's one of 5 queens being honored tonight, members of our very own royal family. That was Lady Andra Day, who raised the royal temperature in her breakthrough portrayal of the very first Lady Day. And all agree that Lady Cynthia Revo is a genius in her latest transformation into America's first queen. The Queen of Soul, that is. The royals all abuzz by Lady Michaela Cole's brilliant metamorphosis that is so delicious that, like my gossip, it may destroy you. Lady Zendaya's triumphant cinematic turns have left everyone in a state of euphoria. And I hear that our final queen of the evening, legendary Lady Whoopi, is being praised for her decades-long ability to give the arts a better view. Now that I've served all the piping hot tea, I'm off to find my royal hairdresser to loosen the lace on this royal unit. I bid you adieu.
She's an Emmy Award-winning actress and executive producer of the Netflix documentary Disclosure. Please welcome our Royal Highness Laverne Cox.
Hello, 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 everyone. I am so excited to be the host of the 14th annual Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards. From its start, Essence has used this platform to celebrate the achievements of some of the most remarkable women on both stage and screen. Being a former Black Women in Hollywood Awards recipient myself, I know what an honor it is to be recognized by Essence. What we all know and love as the iconic magazine, and what has grown into so much more over the past 50 years. And each honoree tonight is so deserving. So obviously, there aren't hundreds of people here in the room with us. This year, it's a global pandemic, people. We know what's going on. But whether the room is full or waiting to be filled, Essence always does it big. And this year is no exception. The theme this year is mastering our stories. That's a powerful statement. So many of us, especially women of color, don't always have the opportunity to tell our stories, yet alone feel empowered enough to also own them. Brené Brown reminds us that when we deny our stories, they define us. But when we can own our stories, we can write a brave new ending. I can testify, honey, about how sweet and truly healing it can be to be in full ownership of every aspect of one's story. Our honorees tonight are providing a blueprint, a roadmap towards mastery, and they are writing brave new endings for us all. Tonight, Essence and I want you to know that your life, your voice, your story, and your journey matters. And now, I'm so excited to introduce two beautiful women who exemplify Black girl magic. Please welcome to the stage Essence Communications CEO, Caroline Wanga, and Chief Strategy and Engagement Officer, LaTreviette Smith-Wilson.
Thank you, Laverne. Did you catch that wig?
That was
Did you?
everything.
Yeah, holla at your girl. I'll catch you later.
I wanted to borrow it.
I did it first.
No.
We'll talk about it later. Never mind.
She's just not getting it back. Okay.
For 50 years, Essence Communications has served Black women deeply, and we continue to do so by encouraging and equipping us to collectively operate in the full power of our lives, leading at the forefront of our lives, our homes, and more importantly, our communities. For more than 30 million Black women who call Essence home, this beloved cultural institution and cornerstone has protected, promoted, and personified sisterhood. A word that is often used so much that sometimes the core of what it really means loses impact. So tonight, what sisterhood is and what we believe is what we're reclaiming, and the sanctity of its purpose. It is so much more than women getting together and friends having brunch and squad vacations. And true sisterhood, whether it be about how it lives in culture, how it lives in equity, and how it lives in communities, is all about having each other's backs and sometimes our fronts, right, Trey?
All the time, our front.
All the time, our fronts.
All around, 360.
What becomes important is that we are unrelenting and unapologetic in our encouragement of one another to live our very, very, very best lives. We show up at all times with just what we need to keep each other going, growing, and soaring, and sometimes surviving.
All the time. That's what we do, Caroline. Truer words never spoken, right? Sisterhood. Think about what has happened the past year.
Yeah.
How we have shown up for each other is what has gotten us through, and that's what will continue to get us through. It's who we are.
It's so much of who we are. And I think what becomes important here, Trey, is, and we've always been that for each other and always will.
Absolutely.
No matter who else wants to think about us differently.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You see, this sisterhood of Black women in Hollywood and everywhere is truly phenomenal. And together, we are unstoppable. When Essence first began Black Women in Hollywood 14 years ago, that was our foundation to build, set, and provide our own table so that the talent, creativity, and magic of the incomparable Black women in Hollywood and their contributions to global culture could be recognized, honored, and celebrated. When others have chosen to not see us, we have always seen each other, and we always will. We understand the importance of mastering our own stories. Why? Because we also understand the power of owning our narrative and the importance of real representation. That's why Essence makes sure that with everything we create, whether our iconic magazine covers, experiences, digital content, podcasts, videos, and so much more, that every element represents the fullness of who we are. Mothers, daughters, sisters, grandmothers, aunties. Caroline, do you think they would call us aunties? We're not aunties. We're the fun cousins that everyone wants at the cookout, right?
I nominate us funties.
Funties?
The fun aunties. That's what we are.
Can we be the fly fun aunties?
Oh, even better,
Okay.
fly funties.
So yes, the fly fun aunties, best friends, and you. Essence is a mirror that each of us can look into each day and see the beauty in our Blackness. And tonight, we are so very proud to recognize 5 Black women who bravely bear their truths and master our stories each time they share their gifts on stage and screen. Andra, Michaela Cole, Cynthia Revo, Whoopi Goldberg, and Zendaya. These 5 women have selflessly allowed their voices, their talent, and their humanity to inspire us all. I know I'm inspired. I'm actually over the moon. And Caroline, you have to be too.
I am inspired.
See? Okay.
I'm fully inspired. But what I also am is extremely clear that in addition to what we are celebrating tonight, there's what we're not. What we're not celebrating is a case where Black women are seen as charity or at any sort of deficit. Instead, we're talking about the power we use that impacts the world. And now, let's take a look at how we've celebrated Black women in Hollywood over the years.
This magazine really celebrates beauty in so many different ways.
Well, as a Black woman in America, Essence taught me how to be.
I'm always inspired, motivated, encouraged, uplifted every time I leave this luncheon. It's Black women in Hollywood, but it's really, just an eye on those who have really paved the way in film.
In that first year in 2008 when we did it, outpouring of love that came out of that first event really let us know that Black women were starving for this recognition. It was time for us to celebrate them. They really wanted their friends to come together and really speak to the power of their presence on screen.
I mean, this room is really unlike any other in town.
There's so many wonderful women of color doing so many amazing things.
When they gather all of us together, the whole business and the whole country understands how much talent is present.
When you're here, you can learn so much from other women.
You want to get a little bit of that love and rub on it and take it back with you. It is so incredibly supportive. Every year, somebody makes somebody cry.
I want to thank you, Essence, for honoring me with this Vanguard Award. I will cherish it for the rest of my days, just as I will cherish every single person in this room.
Thank you, Essence, for this event and for making us always feel special and loved and magic and most of all, important.
I've been working in the business for so long and I swear this made me feel like I was 10 years old.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Alfre Woodard.
Miss Ava DuVernay.
Gugu Mbatha Raw.
Tracy Ellis Ross.
Regina King.
Continue, and by doing so, you and your work will be able to continue eternally.
Our first presenter ignited a global movement that gave women the courage to speak their truths, even when it was painful to say. and sometimes to hear. She is a super shero to me who encourages each of us to tap into our own individual and collective resilience and to let every survivor know through the powerful words, "Me too," that they are not alone. Please welcome Tarana Burke.
Like most of the world, I was not ready for Michaela Cole. My introduction to her was via Chewing Gum, her irreverent, smart, and funny series that was unlike anything I'd seen before. I had wanted more of her wit, her talent, that brilliant mind. But we would have to wait some time to meet her again. And now we know why. I've often said that trauma halts possibility. It serves to impede, to block, and to halt forward movement in one's own life. I May Destroy You tells the story of a survivor who finds herself impeded by the kind of insidious sexual assault that is endemic in our communities. It is so routine that survivors often don't need any help minimizing what's happened to us. We try to make space for everyone else, our friends and their discomfort, our families and their shame, the inner critic inside of us, louder than any slur anyone could hurl our way. This minimization is training for another kind of war, the one where no one cares what happened to you then or what happens to you now. It's no surprise then that we often have no idea what healing looks like, what reckoning actually means. We don't want to deal with the messy bits. We only want to tell tidy stories of improbable triumph. In doing so, we reduce the likelihood that anyone could possibly see themselves, their own journeys and struggles reflected in the tales we tell each other about how to make it through. I May Destroy You landed like the uncomfortable truth that it is. Because it was born out of Michaela's own truth, it is, in and of itself, an exorcism of the demons that were never hers to carry. And in doing so, she has given us an important and new way of looking at healing, of seeing ourselves. Trauma halts possibility, but it is movement that activate it. Michaela's work is an offering that has allowed countless people to speak openly about sexual assault, autonomy, freedom, allyship, and ourselves. To confront our contradictions with honesty and conviction. I May Destroy You initially seems like a threat, a warning, but it is only when you realize that it is an invitation to create something new, if we are willing, that you see the fullness of Michaela's intervention. As many Black women know, we often have the unenviable task of becoming the very women that we needed at one time or another. And when we invite that kind of transformative calling into our lives, we find that it was ourselves we were freeing all along. To the world, Michaela Cole is an amazing actress, but to me, she is also a necessary voice. Now, let's take a look at why this millennial icon is so deserving of this prestigious Black Woman in Hollywood award.
I first became aware of Michaela. We both auditioned for and ended up going to Guildhall School of Music and Drama in London.
Michaela Cole first came on my radar when she used to do spoken word.
Watch my new life as his soul transcends. See this rebirth as his light descends. Renewed and newborn, I am born again. Amen. Praise God.
I first heard about Michaela in the Chewing Gum days.
I saw that and I was immediately obsessed with her, who is this such a funny person, but also just so much immediate depth that was so obvious and so singular.
Chewing Gum originally came from a very short solo piece.
And the BAFTA goes to Michaela Cole.
And then it became this like huge, BAFTA nominated, BAFTA winning kind of like juggernaut of a thing.
If there's anyone out there that looks a bit like me or just feels a little bit out of place trying to get into performing and all this kind of stuff, I just say, you are beautiful, embrace it. You are intelligent, embrace it. You are powerful, embrace it. Thank you.
I got to meet her, finally, when we worked together on Black Earth Rising. An extraordinary piece of TV. She is an actress. And I do believe this thing. Those who can do comedy can do tragedy. It's not necessarily easier the other way around.
Michaela's character, Arabella, in I May Destroy You, is a young Black woman figuring her way out in the world. She's a writer. She's on the cusp of finishing a second book, trying to get her life together. And in the midst of this whole thing, she experiences sexual assault and she experiences trauma.
I May Destroy You resonated with people because it was honest.
It's a radical act of personal revelation and healing. The way she deals with trauma is just a thing of beauty because it's so triumphant.
It's really hard to make something like that and to make it like extremely watchable and not just therapy is incredible.
Michaela's future will be dictated by her. It won't be dictated by anybody else. I think she just wants to have space and time to continue like developing her craft and sharing her encyclopedic library of thoughts.
And I think we're all going to be delighted to get to see it.
Massive congratulations, my friend Michaela Cole, on your Essence Black Women in Hollywood Award.
I love you, Michaela. Congratulations. Congratulations on everything.
Hopefully I'll see you soon after this whole COVID thing. I'm in London right now, so you gotta hit me up.
So thank you for everything you've done for me and sharing everything you have with the world.
This is Essence. This is fantastic. These women hold you up and say, keep going, fly on, fly on, fly on. I love you.
So, on behalf of anyone who has walked through the fire, for those who are still finding their way, but especially for those who couldn't, we thank you for stepping into the light for us, Michaela. It is my honor to present you with the Black Women in Hollywood Award.
Thank you so much, Essence, for this moment, to be honored and celebrated as a Black woman in Hollywood. The thing I have yet to reveal to Essence is that the time I've spent in Hollywood itself amounts to 12 days over the course of my life. Sorry. So it seems fitting that I take this opportunity to talk about those 12 days and the Black women who gave those days meaning. The first was a 4-day trip. I had arrived to the Hollywood section of the Americas with severe jet lag and high hope to make a TV show. Chewing Gum Season 1 had just aired, and its small but strong success got me a seat at the table with executive producers from an American network to pitch a show. I had no pilot, no treatment, no document at all. I only had a piece of information. A few months beforehand, my drink was spiked and I had been sexually assaulted by strangers. And at that table, I told the exec producers that I wanted to make a comedy type thing about it. I knew, despite being unaware of my own shock and denial, that I would have to write about it in order to avoid dying from it. When I look back on that meeting, I think the executives deemed me unstable. Maybe the frantic, terrified eyes. Maybe because I had no treatment or pilot. Maybe they came to know that shortly after the meeting, I was found sleeping behind a truck on the premises. The jet lag was just too much and it was so hot. So I crouched down and slept on the ground. I don't know if I would make a show with me. To the sister who woke me up and got me a bottle of water, thank you. The second was a 4-day trip in 2017. I had a photo shoot. It was the first time both my hair and makeup had been done by Black women on a shoot, and I looked amazing. Navasha Johnson gave me the lace wig, and Tasha Brown told me that the orange blusher in the NARS palette was the only way to be free. By this time, I had struck up an Instagram friendship with Issa Rae. I had told her I was coming to the Americas and asked her to go on a date with me to Soulquarious Music Festival. She agreed, assuming I was sane. I tried to lay that wig again for the festival, and it looked as awesome as Arabella's looks in I May Destroy You. I was so excited to be alive, to be there, to be with Issa, and the gin I was consuming was just a way of allowing any nervousness that came with that excitement to subside. Cynthia Revo, a trusted friend and most seasoned expert to Hollywood, was trying to advise me how to act right, but I had no time for that. Then I lost concept of time altogether. I don't recall who I bought the weed muffin from. Neither do I recall things like music or performances at the festival. I only remember meeting Willow Smith, thinking, wow, she's so welcoming and nice, and why is the guitar on her back able to wave hello and smile at me? Issa, I suspect being around me might have been quite a traumatic experience. Thank you for still replying to my texts, because I don't know if I would. The third was a 2-day trip in 2018. I had now gotten through 5 or so drafts of the show we would come to know as I May Destroy You, and was eager to partner with people of Hollywood to make this show happen. I spent 2 euphoric days pitching the show to studio after studio and walking on a beach, because there's a beach near where people make TV in Hollywood, which is absolutely insane. My last meeting was with HBO, and it was going really well. The exec producer asked me if I remembered her. I suddenly realized I had been here 2 years before, with frantic, terrified eyes, where I was woken up, given water. I suddenly realized how much I had grown. The final trip was also in 2018. By now, my work in Chewing Gum, Black Mirror, and Black Earth Rising had allowed me access into a circle of Black women in Hollywood, none of whom were aware I was both unhinged and obsessed with them. I was doing small DMs with Lena Waithe, Bobby Humphrey, Zendaya, Gabrielle Union, Ari Lennox, Jada Pinkett. One day, Janelle Monae DM'd me to say she'd planned a small friends-only private screening of Dirty Computer. It was that night and I was welcome to swing by. I decided not to tell her that I'd been to every single music concert of hers in England, that I'd had numerous dreams about meeting her, that I had to unfollow her on Facebook back in the day because I was beginning to dress and sing like her and I was losing my sense of self to her magic. I decided not to tell her that I wasn't actually in Hollywood, so I couldn't swing by. I instead found a flight, booked a one-way ticket, and went straight from the airport to the movie theater. I met Lena Waithe, and we hugged as if we'd hugged 100 times before. I met Kelly Rowland, who knew my name and where in Africa I was from. That was so bizarre, I began to catch migraine. Then I finally met Janelle Monae, and well, she was like water. She flowed to everyone in the room without having to do anything. She was everything. When she came to know of the circumstances by which I came, she insisted I spent the night in the house she was currently residing in with her entire Wonderland Music family. There was enough room for me. This is where my mind goes when I think of this honor essence. It goes to the Black women who breathed life into those 12 days. I am a visitor with no firm idea of when or how or where I'm going, that I'm just eager to be here. And I'm grateful for the invitation to sit down at your table, that I have been given room here, given water, warm welcomes, cuddles, loving emojis. There is only one thing to do with this honor. It is to honor you. Thank you.
Congratulations, Michaela, and thank you, Tarana, always, for those empowering words. Now it's time for a quick break. But coming up, we've got Zendaya, Whoopi, Cynthia Revo, and another earth-shattering performance from Andra Day. It's all going down right here at the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards.
Coming up, Leslie Jones presents to Whoopi Goldberg.
All of this starts right here. Book your next journey today. You are why we fly.
So the good food is
looks
great.
amazing.
Perfect bite. You're gonna get a little bit of mac and cheese.
Okay.
You're gonna get some sweet potatoes.
Okay.
And then you're gonna take the crunch of the chicken.
The crunch.
Or the chicken if you're vegan.
You know what?
Okay? And you just gonna get the little crunch, the salty and the sweet. It's everything.
All of this starts right here. Book your next journey today. You are why we fly.
Technology has advanced so extraordinarily that it can actually learn the behaviors of people and adapt to them. But just how precise can this personalized tool get? Can it tell the difference between two people who the human eye would deem identical?
Stick around for more Black Women in Hollywood coming up.
Welcome back to the 14th annual Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards. Now, it's time to spotlight another deserving honoree. This self-proclaimed problem child is a seasoned stand-up, comedic actress, and social media staple. Her hilarious comic sketches on SNL garnered her 2 Primetime Emmy nominations and led to her starring in such films as Trainwreck, Ghostbusters, and fan favorite Coming to America. Please show some love for our next presenter, the one and only Leslie Jones.
Thank you, Laverne. You look good, boo.
I know this, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had just graduated high school when I first saw this honoree burst onto the scene in a one-woman Broadway show that made me both laugh and cry. Her comedy and perspective on life in general literally shook the ground like an earthquake, and I was captivated by her uniqueness. I looked at my father and literally said, "Oh my God, Daddy, she looked just like me! She looked just like me! Oh my God!" I love that her hair was coarse like mine. I love that her skin was dark brown like mine, and that she had her own unique beauty like me. I watched her hone the art of mastering her own story, and I became an instant superfan, and she became my forever comedy shero. That groundbreaking Broadway show was the catalyst for her being cast in the role of Celie in The Color Purple, which led to the first of many of her Oscar nominations. That movie and her acting is so iconic that I can't think of any Black person who can't quote at least 2 or 3 lines from that film at any given moment. I mean, to this day, I still text my exes, "Until you do right by me, everything you do gon' fail." But that's how memorable every role she plays becomes. She's awe-inspiring and paved the way for so many Black actresses like me to have a chance to flourish, because I didn't think somebody that looked like me could be on television, and she just changed my life. In addition to her critically acclaimed work on stage and screen, she also holds a PhD in literature from New York University. She's a philanthropist, y'all knew I wasn't gonna get that right, and a socially conscious activist who fights for human rights, AIDS research, and children's causes. This sister's act is unparalleled, and whether she's sharing her view, chatting with a ghost, or fighting them in Mississippi, playing a nun on the run, a hyena with an attitude, or helping her friend get her groove back, she's a living legend who has given the world so much needed comic relief. She's also part of an exclusive club that boasts only 16 members total, who, like her, have won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. I'm gonna be in that club, because you know I like clubs. Now, let's take a peek at some of the unforgettable roles that have made this extraordinary honoree a beloved household name.
Whoopi is a fabulous broad.
Whoopi is an original.
Whoopi is compassionate, wise, generous.
Whoopi is wonderful. Whoopi is sage, fearless, and unapologetic. Whoopi is a friend.
All those words, and a lot more. She's truly a blessing.
I first became aware of Whoopi Goldberg when I saw her one-woman show in San Francisco. This one show brought her to prominence, and not only in San Francisco, but in the country as well.
I said to myself, you know what? This woman is good.
She was the most extraordinary person I had ever seen. And it was the beginning of a long and extraordinary career.
What was it like working with Whoopi on The Color Purple? It was fabulous. My favorite scene, it was the kissing scene. Lord have mercy.
A great deal of film is about the choices that the director makes, but also the choices that an actor makes as well.
I walk in on the set, I was like panicked, and she looked me right in the eye and she says, "No tonguing."
Ghost, it's a classic. It always makes me feel good.
Everything comes from a place of truth and honesty with her. She's managed to get us to understand a lot about ourselves.
The fact that Whoopi is an EGOT winner is a testament, really, to her versatility and the depth of her talent.
You know, to be able to check off all those boxes at the highest level, it's truly an accomplishment.
I'm very, very glad and very honored that you are tonight receiving the Essence Black Woman in Hollywood Award.
Essence Magazine has been an incredible moment for them to honor you, Whoopi Goldberg.
It's been a pleasure to sit at the same table with you all these years, and let's keep doing it. Love you.
I know your mom is looking down on you with a lot of pride and big heartwarming smiles and big hugs. So, congratulations, my darling.
You've always been there to give me words of encouragement, to support me. I love you, and I can't wait to see more amazing things that you do.
Here she is, your honoree and my play mama, the EGOT and the greatest of all time, Whoopi Goldberg! Yay!
Oh, hey. Sorry, wait, I was just trying to get ready, you know, because y'all gave me this wonderful award. I wanted to look good. Hold on. You know, doing this stuff through Zoom is not easy because you don't always look as good as you want to, but I'm doing my best. So, first of all, thank you. Thank you, Essence. You know, to get an award as part of Black Women in Hollywood. I've always been here. I've always tried to be me and bring, you know, some respect to being a Black woman and having respect for other Black women. I always thought that was important. And so I think that the idea that you are giving out an award to Black women in Hollywood is a great thing because Black women in Hollywood don't get a lot of awards. But you've made it a little bit easier. You made it a little bit nicer to kind of move through all of the mishigas that is Hollywood. And, you know, I've been a Black woman my whole life. Same face, you know, jowls, butts, everything is mine. Okay, I got a little extra hair in my hair, but that's, you know, we all have a little something like that. But to be a Black woman in the world is not always the easiest thing, as you all know. But I appreciate the fact that Essence has always made it very clear that we didn't have to be anybody else's idea of a Black woman, that we were free to be us, regardless of who was trying to tell us who we were supposed to be. And that, for me, has made you, in my mind, always number one, Essence. I'm just telling you. And my mom and I bought the first issue because we heard there was going to be a magazine just for us. And it turned out it was just for us, and it was cute. We were cute. And we knew we were cute because we saw it. We saw that we were represented, and other Black women we were seeing each other. It was like getting a window into Black women. And we saw each other. And so I can't do anything but say thank you so much. Thank you for this honor. Thank you for allowing me to be myself even though it might have been a little strange sometimes, but that's life, right? I just thank you all so much. And I look forward to more time with all of you.
I love you so much, Whoopi. Now, Whoopi girl, when are we gonna get another sister act so the world can discover my singing and I can discover the power of auto-tune? Whoopi. And thank you so much, Leslie Jones, for that beautiful introduction. I love you, Leslie. This is why I love the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Awards. It's one of the few places where we can all get together and celebrate the achievements of actresses who exemplify Black excellence in the arts. And right now, we want to continue this tradition by remembering a cinematic legend who paved the way for just about every Black actress working today. She took on roles that brought dignity, honor, and truth to being a Black woman in film and in life. She was defiant, intelligent, and inquisitive. She never stopped sharpening her acting tools, and her lifelong body of work was the perfect eulogy to a life lived to the fullest. She took her final bow at the age of 96, but our hearts will always give Cicely Tyson the standing ovation that she deserves. Cicely Tyson will never be forgotten, and neither will the other beloved stars that we lost over the past year. We want to take this moment to pay tribute to them as well. We'll be right back.
You're worth it. There is value in each and every one of us, including you. Focus on what I'm about to say and repeat after me. I'm worth it, okay? Maybe that felt great, or perhaps that felt weird. Forget the naysayers and silence the critics, even if the harshest words are the ones you say to yourself. Do not doubt yourself, and this time speak it louder, really loud. I'm worth it. And the next time you hesitate before going after something you want, the next time you blush and brush off a compliment, the next time you doubt your place in the world, in the workplace, in your home, or in your own skin, say these words to yourself: I'm worth it. Because you are, and always will be. Got that?
Coming up, Cynthia Revo accepts the Vanguard Award presented by Ford. Plus, a special breakthrough award goes to Andra Day.
Y'all, tune in April 23rd at 7 p.m. Eastern for the second annual Essence Hollywood House. You'll be hearing from influential voices and industry power players about what it really takes to successfully navigate Hollywood from both in front and behind the camera. And oh, did I mention I'm hosting it? Do not miss it, and you can check it out on essencestudios.com.
Please welcome Multicultural Marketing Manager of Ford Motor Company, Dee Guerrero.
Thank you to Essence, and thank you to all the viewers joining us this evening at the 14th Annual Black Women in Hollywood Awards. We at Ford are dedicated to driving human progress. We're committed to helping build a better world where every person is free to move and pursue their dreams. It's about putting the energy behind supporting, encouraging, and leading change. And Essence has been a force in leading that change since bringing Black women in Hollywood in 2007, creating a much needed platform where we can recognize how Black women, strong, unapologetically bold Black women, are leading and defiantly changing the game in Hollywood. This is our 12th consecutive year supporting this movement, and we couldn't be prouder of Essence and prouder of bringing this celebration to you for the first time ever virtually to celebrate how women are impacting the entertainment industry and creating legacies. We're all about respecting and recognizing women, which is what we're here to do today with our Ford Vanguard Award honoree, Cynthia Revo. She is transforming the culture through intelligent, influential, and impactful storytelling. She is driving progress. And like our all-new Mustang Mach-E, she is electric, decidedly her own, and a force to be reckoned with. And to present this award, I would love to welcome award-winning director of Harriet, Casey Lemons.
Thank you, Essence, for inviting me to present the Black Women in Hollywood Vanguard Award, sponsored by Ford, to a talented young actress that I had the absolute privilege and pleasure of working with on the film Harriet. When I was entrusted with directing this historical biopic of our beloved Harriet Tubman, I knew that I, and the actress portraying this American icon, would have the great honor and daunting task of resurrecting Harriet's legacy while also bearing the culture on our shoulders. I came aboard the project after the lead role of Harriet Tubman had already been cast. I knew of and was excited about directing this amazing young actress from Britain who had graduated from the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts and had won a Tony, Emmy, and Grammy Award for her outstanding role as Celie in The Color Purple on Broadway. That performance to me proved that Cynthia Revo understood and could speak the language of the plight of being a Black woman in America, even though she'd been raised in Europe. And from the moment she stepped on set, Cynthia fully captured, like one film critic said, the fury of Harriet Tubman's circumstances and the peace of her resolve. We were transported back in time when women in general had no rights, but Black women, in particular in America, were tethered to the inhumane cruelty of slavery, and they had, in the minds of many white slave owners, no right to live. And yet Cynthia Revo brought Harriet Tubman's heroism and humanity to life. I felt the enormous weight of my ancestors calling to me through time to get this story right and set the record straight that Harriet Tubman was both a warrior and also a real woman, a daughter, a sister, and a wife, a saint and a soldier ready to die for what she believed in. I talked to Harriet in my mind, and I asked her for guidance. And I believe that Cynthia called on her ancestors too, and they took flight from the shores of Nigeria and anointed her with a spiritual and emotional essence, which allowed her to portray this brave and beloved freedom fighter from a community of enslaved West Africans in Maryland, weaving a history of slavery in America that began on the shores of Africa with Harriet Tubman's own African-American heritage. Cynthia Revo embodied this historical heroine and created a beautiful cinematic tapestry that led her to 2 Oscar nominations in both the Best Actress and Best Original Song categories. In addition to her thespian roots, this amazing and versatile artist is also an executive producer and a staunch supporter of women's rights. And to add to her growing list of memorable performances, she's currently receiving more rave reviews for her powerhouse portrayal of America's Queen of Soul, the one and only and dearly missed Aretha Franklin. And now please join me in watching a clip that shows exactly why Cynthia Revo is being called a genius.
Cynthia Revo, she always comes to tell the story, no matter what. She's a storyteller.
I saw A Color Purple at the Minor Chocolate Factory. It's like a small stage in London. And I was just blown away, absolutely blown away. I was like, wow, this is a superstar.
I had a great experience working with Cynthia on The Color Purple.
This voice, it was so booming. She had such a presence, and I was like, who is this girl?
I specifically remember watching her and peeking through the curtains almost every night to watch her sing I'm Here. The fact that my friend was able to get an Emmy and Tony and a Grammy all in the same year for the same show, who does that?
It was an honor working with Cynthia on Harriet. The sisterhood that those 2 characters, Marie and Harriet, had on screen was so important to both of us.
Harriet was someone who was strong, who was courageous, who was fearless.
those things come from within. And Cynthia, as a woman and as a human being, very much has those same traits. Yes, she got the Oscar nomination, which is, kind of the icing on the cake, but Cynthia got every major acting award nomination for Harriet Tubman.
Cynthia and Aretha. Child, it's a remarkable performance. And coupled with that voice, honey, that voice, whew, I just can't get enough.
She's really on her way to that EGOT.
You gotta know how great you are so you can navigate through life in the proper way. That's what Cynthia does. It's not ego, just fact.
She lives her truth, and she's unapologetically being herself, no matter what.
Cynthia has a light. I feel like she was born with this light, and how she uses her light makes her an icon.
Congratulations, my sister, Cynthia Revo, on your Essence Black Woman in Hollywood Award. You deserve this moment, and I am so grateful that I get to tell you myself.
Thank you for your gift, and thank you for sharing your gift with us. And appreciate you, man. Mad love.
I'm sending you big hugs and big kisses.
That undeniable voice, that rich, powerful, Black voice is me and my generation's dream come true.
You matter, and whatever your heart desires, I want that for you. Thrive, sis. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Vanguard Award recipient, presented by Ford, Cynthia Revo.
When I sat to write this, I honestly didn't know where to begin. Maybe because I was overwhelmed by the magnitude and meaning of this award. Maybe because in this moment, watching dreams become a reality is, well, a reality. Or maybe it's because of the feeling that comes when you look around and you see your melanated divine family, and yes, I think of you as family, celebrating not just the work you do, but the very skin you are in while you do it. I've often been too shy to thank God in front of people on a stage, but I think that this is the moment that shyness goes away. I thank God that this publication, Essence, has been a life raft for us when everyone else would rather see Black women drown. That the pages of Essence have been wings that tell us to soar when others would rather see us fall. I think of the incredible women who have come before me, and the ceilings, doors, walls, in fact, the entire buildings these women have broken through and rebuilt almost with no help. They have laid the groundwork. They have left the example. They have created the blueprint from which I am honored to follow direction. I am a 5'1", brown-skinned, gap-toothed woman with a shaved head who was single-handedly raised against impossible odds by an immigrant mother who was born in a Nigerian village. That wonderful woman made a choice to leave her home for something more. If not for her and her tenacity, I would not be standing in front of you today. With that knowledge, I'm aware of the responsibility of being not just my mother's wildest dreams, but my ancestors' wildest dreams. I am deeply conscious of the fact that being where I am is an impossibility and a privilege, one that I'm amazed by every single day. You see, when I left the UK 6 years ago, I cried big, hot tears. I cried because I thought I was leaving my home. I was scared because I thought I'd be alone. I didn't realize that I would be lucky enough to gain a new home. And when I say home, I do not speak of the four walls and the roofs that house us. No, not at all. I speak of the home that reaches inside your heart and fuses itself to your soul, the type of home that calls you up at the worst of times and says, I was thinking about you, sis. How you doing? Because somehow, we always know. The type of home that texts you two simple words, sing, sis, and you automatically know you've done well. The type of home that can look at you from across a crowded room and with a shift of the eye, a purse of the lips, a nod of the head, you know immediately what is being said. The kind of home that hugs you with such love that both of you rock side to side. The I love yous and the I'm proud of yous. Home is the space between the open arms of every Black woman I have had the privilege of encountering. especially here at this event, here at Essence. Alice Walker said, "I am an expression of the divine, just like a peach is, just like a fish is. I have a right to be this way. I can't apologize for that, nor can I change it, nor do I want to. We will never have to be other than who we are in order to be successful. We realize that we are as ourselves unlimited and our experiences valid. It is for the rest of the world to recognize if they choose." Now, I do not profess to be a scribe of the same caliber as the great Miss Alice Walker, but I feel compelled to add this small addendum, and that is that if the rest of the world chooses not to recognize our brilliance, our divinity, it is not a thing to chase, because here, at home, at Essence, you are not only recognized, you are seen, and you are celebrated. And I thank you, Essence, for seeing and celebrating me. God bless.
Congratulations, Cynthia. You earned every accolade. And thank you, Casey Lemons. We really appreciate the virtual love. Now, it's time to introduce our next honoree, who will be the recipient of a brand new award. Essence created this new category to spotlight an innovative artist who gives a tour de force performance that is undeniably groundbreaking. This year, for the very first time, the recipient of this award is Andra Day. In The United States versus Billie Holiday, Andra takes on her very first starring role in a motion picture as the iconic Billie Holiday. What Andra accomplishes in her performance is truly astounding. For me, it's one of those performances that transcends acting and is more of an anointed seance where Andra Day was the medium, summoning, calling on the spirit of Billie Holiday to speak through her, to sing through her the very depths of her despair, longing, triumphs, tenacity, and brilliance. I believe that our flaws, the things that we struggle with, fight for and against, long and love, are the things that make us human. Andra shows us the depths of Lady Day's humanity and her own. She transformed into Billie Holiday, and in the process, a movie star, right before our eyes. Now, I am so incredibly humbled and honored to present Andra Day with the Essence Black Women in Hollywood Breakthrough Star Award.
Thank you so much to everyone at Essence. I have to tell you, honestly, I'm so nervous right now, and I'm really not good at speeches. And I just think all of the women tonight, thank you so much, Laverne, have been so profound and have really said it all. So I think I'll just try to give you my experience. This award means so much to me. It means more to me than any award I've ever received. And I say that because I received this award from people, from women from my community who understand, who stand in solidarity with me, and I stand in solidarity with them. You know, I love the term breakthrough. I love that term because I think breakthrough is the essence of Black women, and I think breakthrough is the essence of who Billie Holiday was and the road that she paved for us to walk on. And Black women are constantly breaking through, through so many different barriers and through so many different boxes that people try to put us in. And it is truly a part of our story and now a part of our identity. I remember when I was on set, one of the things that we had to break through is people would say to me constantly, this will be the hardest you'll ever work in a movie because there's not meaty roles like this for Black women. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, who possibly has meatier roles than Black women? And for somebody to say that, it's very clear that our stories have not fully been told. And so while I thought I might retire when I was on set, just after everything we had kind of gone through, I realize now that I can't, because that's like trying to retire from being a Black woman. It's not possible. And if I can be another hat in the ring to tell more of our stories and to have more revelatory aha moments to show not just the depth of Black women's struggle, but the breadth of their contribution and how great their triumph has been, then I want to be a part of that. And I just want to say, thank you so much, Essence, for being such a huge part of that and my story. Thank you so much to Felicia Fant and to my amazing soror sister, Susan L. Taylor, for always believing in me. And that was my first cover. And this event was actually my very first red carpet. And so, I just want to just express how grateful I am to Black women, because we are constantly breaking through for each other. So yeah, like I said, I'm not really that great at speeches, but I'm just going to leave it at that and say thank you so much for this award. This is my highest and my greatest honor because you are my sisters. Thank you. God bless.
Don't you dare touch that remote. We'll be right back with more Andra Day and Zendaya.
Still to come, Zendaya accepts the last award of the night.
All of this starts right here. Book your next journey today. You are why we fly.
Technology has advanced so extraordinarily that it can actually learn the behaviors of people and adapt to them. But just how precise can this personalized tool get? Can it tell the difference between two people who the human eye would deem identical?
I don't know where I would be without my girlfriends right now, and when they say check on your strong friend, they've been the ones, right, that seem like they have it all together, and then you make that call and they're at home alone, trying to figure it out just like the rest of us. And so I just love our sisterhood.
Cheers to the women who've received awards thus far. Stick around because more Black women in Hollywood is still to come.
All of this starts right here. Book your next journey today. You are why we fly.
Ladies, our next presenter is talented and handsome. He's a Yale graduate and New Orleans and Oakland native who's shown his deft acting skills in such memorable and diverse projects, including Aquaman, The Greatest Showman, and Watchmen. He can currently be seen in The Trial of the Chicago 7, and up next, will star in Candyman. Please welcome Yaya Abdul Mateen II.
We've all been told not to look directly into the sun. But when our next honoree is on screen, none of us can look away. Her gaze is mesmerizing and reveals both her strength and vulnerability. Her smile is electrifying and displays her magnetic charm and joyous spirit. Her stance is regal and confident, and it lets the world know that she's walking in syncopation with her destiny. She has no frenemies and is beloved by fans of all ages. She's not afraid to shake things up and recently faced a love entanglement with a guy named Malcolm. She is fierce and fearless, and has a soft spot in her heart for spiders. She's worked with some of the greatest showmen on earth, and each of them has expressed their euphoria in working with her. She is young, gifted, and Black, and has perfected the art of mastering her story as an Emmy-winning actress and producer. I've had the pleasure of working with her, and I was captivated by her ability to bring both life and depth to her character. Now, join me in watching a clip that will show exactly how this beautiful rising star lights up our screen and our hearts.
I
I first became aware of my big sis Z on Shake It Up. I watched the show religiously. I thought it was super dope, super cool. She inspired me, and when I looked at her and saw her on TV, I felt like I could succeed and do the same thing.
She was a natural on that show, man. She was very funny.
Spider-Man, that's always been one of my favorite superheroes, and to see her bring her twist and bring her dry and sarcastic humor to that role, it just made me enjoy the film even more.
I think Zendaya has a true grounded sense of self. And I think that's why she's had this seemingly seamless transition from child star to leading lady.
Me and Z play sisters on Euphoria, and she plays Rue so beautifully.
Working with Zendaya on Euphoria is honestly, it's a complete blast, man. It's a pleasure. She makes you want to bring your A game.
Her character and portrayal of Rue in Euphoria would have to be one of my top favorites.
We were all in the pandemic, we were all in the house together, and I remember that day the Emmys came on, and all we were thinking about that day was Zendaya better win.
Her Emmy win was absolutely incredible. I don't know if you guys saw my jumping in the air video.
It was like a win for me. It was a win for every Black girl around the world.
I think it's very cool that Zendaya is the youngest woman to win for a leading actress in a drama. That's fantastic.
Malcolm and Marie, it was incredible, from the cinematography, from the writing, the directing. Z again displayed that raw emotion, and I never felt like she was trying too hard.
It was just two characters, one space, and really just deals with human relationships.
Her skill in being able to act without talking, and a lot of people can't do that. That's very tough to do.
Zendaya is a great role model, not only for me, but for other women and men around the world. She's a great person. I have to say, she is the most genuine spirit that I have met in this business.
Yeah, she's, I don't know, in her early 20s, but let me tell you something. She's got the experience of somebody who's been doing this for 30 years because she's curious, interested, and interesting.
Zendaya, what's going on? This is Algie Smith right here. I'm just so happy to be here to celebrate you, to give you all the flowers that you deserve. Congratulations on your Essence Black Women in Hollywood Award. Well deserved.
Cannot wait to continue watching and clapping from my house, from the rooftops, from wherever we are.
Heart, character, you have everything that exemplifies being a Black woman in Hollywood, a great Black woman in Hollywood.
I just want to congratulate you for being such a force, being an absolute star, and being so kind and an amazing spirit.
You give everybody hope, but little girls that look like me, you gave us hope. You give us hope. So continue to do what you do. I love you so, so much. I am so proud of you, and I can't wait to see what you do next. Love you, love you, love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the stage my friend, the lovely and talented Zendaya.
I just want to say thank you, Yaya. You've been a dear and wonderful friend for a very long time. So thank you for that beautiful introduction. This award means absolutely so much to me, to be acknowledged by Essence and by so many people that I admire and I appreciate. Means the world to me. I wish that I could be in a room full of all of you and talk to you and see your faces and hug you and thank you. I know that this is we're receiving the awards, but I really feel like I owe every single honoree, every Black woman that I've been able to come in contact with when I entered this building, a huge thank you. Thank you for existing. Thank you for being everything that you are. Black women are so incredibly special and valuable, and your joy brings me so much joy. When I see a Black woman being happy and living her best life, it truly brings me so much joy. Your win, every win that you win, feels like my own win. And I wish I had enough words to go to every single one of you and say how much I appreciate you and I value you, because you are so damn special. So this is not for me, this is for all of you, and a huge thank you for all that you continue to be and do, because without being able to see all of your work and all that you represent, I would not be able to be where I am and doing what I'm doing. You're a constant motivation and inspiration for me every day. And when I see that you can do it, I feel like I can too. And that is a huge, huge thing to say. So thank you. And I just want to continue to watch you all shine and be amazing. And I hope to always be in your corner and support you through all of that. So thank you so much.
What an amazing and talented young woman. And she's only 24. I can't wait to turn 24 in 7 years. What? Leave me alone. But seriously, Zendaya is the future of Hollywood. And with talent like that, things will only get better for women of color. And can we also give some virtual love to Yaya, Abdul, Mateen II? Thank you so much, Yaya. Now, it's time for another amazing, incredible performance from the incomparable Andra Day.
Thank you all so much for having myself, for having Charles, and for having John here tonight to play for y'all. So originally, I wanted to do the song Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday, and I think that would have been probably the expected choice. But I actually chose to do God Bless the Child tonight because it is one of my favorite songs by her. And the reason it is because Billie Holiday actually wrote it. And I think one of the things about her legacy that's been taken from her is this sense of ownership. And I think that's something that is often taken from Black women, or attempted to be taken from Black women, is this sense of ownership of self, ownership of our property, ownership of our intellectual property, our creative property. And so I would like people to recognize her tonight as an incredible innovator, an incredible writer, and a woman who had ownership over her creative vision. So this song is called God Bless the Child, written by the incomparable Billie Holiday.
1, 2, 3.
Them that's got shall have, and them that's not shall lose. So the Bible said, and it still is news. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Guess the strong gets more, all the weak ones fade. Empty pockets don't ever make the grade. Mama may have, Papa may have, God bless the child that's got his own, that's got his own. Money you've got, lots of friends, they're crowded around your door. And when you're gone and spending years, oh, they don't come around no more. Which relations give, yes, crust of bread and such. You could help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but
got his own, that's got his own. Money you got, lots and lots and lots of friends crowding around your door. Oh, but where you gone and spending ends, they don't come around no more. Rich relations, crust of bread and such. You could help yourself, but don't take too much. Mama may have, Papa may have, but God bless the job that's got his own, that's got his own. Peace and bless y'all. Thank you.
Andra, you better sing, girl. That was so beautiful. That was incredible. Thank you so much. We have had an incredible time tonight, and I just want to thank Essence for inviting me to host this year's Black Women in Hollywood Awards. This moment means so very much to me and to all of our sisters everywhere. Thank you, Essence. I love you. I also want to thank our amazing sponsors, Ford, American Airlines, L'Oreal, and Coca-Cola. Now, it's time to say goodnight. But before we go, don't forget to set your alarms for the Hollywood House premiere tomorrow. For more information, go to essence.com. See you again soon. Until then, stay in the love.